Thank you so much, Ian. And I'm now going to pass it on to Dr. Uchenna to give his closing remarks, and we will go from there.
Ooh, thank you so much. Are you guys hearing me? Are you able to hear me? Okay. So I really want to thank you so much. Starting from, of course, Jumo, you did a good job packaging all this. And of course, Dr. Sigu, I really appreciate all the back and forth we went through to get this thing done. And of course, CPLOB has been a friend of many, many years, more than 2 decades, quite frankly. And of course, I see that Ian is still here, and Dr. Yakubu, I'm really appreciative of your contributions. Then, of course, my friend Robert Weinstein is actually still here. And of course, there's a friend I think I'm seeing from Uganda. Sandra is also here. So I want to thank everyone. However, let me say something why somehow we're passionate about these issues. I also wanted to mention something about the gender issue. I think Jumo and Ian raised that point. We recognize the importance of women in security, especially community safety issues, because women are key in terms of mobilization of people within the rural areas and all that. And part of the agenda of even the foundation is also to build security architecture from the bottom up, because apparently the structure we have seems not to be working because it's from top to the bottom. So we want to see how we can involve citizens really into getting involved, creating that awareness. And I think one of the speakers mentioned something like that about, committing people to know that they have a stake in their country. You won't believe it. I'm talking to you guys from Warsaw in Poland. I've been here since Monday. And when I finished my speech, I met the speechwriter to Margaret Thatcher. His name is John O'Sullivan, and we shared lunch together and we're having a conversation. The first thing that because normally I came as an American, but he asked me what part of, where am I from originally? I said I'm Nigerian. He said, the first thing he said, and this is not just the first time I'm receiving such comment. Oh, it's not safe over there, isn't it? So I admitted, I said it's not safe, right? But that's the reality. So even to the point, I even started, making some jokes and said, oh, after all, your country contributed to the situation we're in and stuff like that. But the point I'm making with this little story is that security issues in Nigeria is such a big problem, and everybody understands that. So that's why I think we can build a coalition. It may be very little, but we can create some policy positions and some ideas that can become part of the ideas that can, in one way or another, contribute to the solution. We will not solve it entirely because there's no country that will have 100% security. Even United States still have its own issues. And I also want to mention that there's a Doug mentioned something about allowing people to own guns. Quite frankly, like in the US, I'm one of those who believe that gun violence has become so bad that maybe there should be some restrictions about gun ownership. And I also think that in the Nigerian situation, it looks to me like Doc's prescription somehow could help, because the truth is that when you have a gun and a criminal knows that they have a gun, it's most likely that that person will not come to you. But it's another issue for another debate. So talking about the gender issue as well, Zoe was supposed to join us because in planning this also, we also factor that, I've discussed that with Jumo, but the fact that Jumo is moderating this underscores the importance we ascribe to women's participation in a global conversation about security. And I believe Zoe is listening because she said she found out that she'll be on the road while this thing will be going on. So she just said she will just join, that she won't feel comfortable talking while she's on the road. So I just want to make it clear that we're sensitive to issues about gender balance. So having said that, I hope that post-COVID, we should be able to have an in-person conversation on this as well. I'm also conscious of the comment made about the media because I'm a scholar of media studies, so I'm always passionate about issues of media. I was particularly, I was surprised to hear all the finger pointing at the media, but I think those are genuine complaints, and it boils down to actually, I was in Nigeria in January, and I had a conversation with one of the senators who used to be the president of Nigeria Union of Journalists, we're friends. So I was telling him of how we can convene, a conference to start a conversation on what I call solutions journalism, because the problem with Nigerian journalism, and maybe probably almost every place, is the fact that they are so adversarial, they are not part of the solutions. So the era of solutions journalism is here, and I'm also happy Alobi mentioned something about peace journalism. Because reporters supporting a policy of violence, you are not contributing to the solution. You are probably become part of the solution. Part of the problem as well. So when you create such situation where you end up creating wars and all that, you're not helping. Things like that happen in Rwanda, in Kenya. There are instances where reporters help to inflame passion, and it created more problems than solutions. So that's another issue for another discussion. So I'd like to wrap it up because I don't want to start talking, endlessly. There are too many things. I really appreciate every contributor, every opinion that you guys shared. We'll try to articulate these issues together, share the outcome of this conversation so that you can also have a document to look at. And we hope to push it, across to necessary agencies. Of course, Dr. Yakubu is there, CP Alobi. These are guys with serious security background that can help us advance some of the issues we've discussed here today. On that note, I'd like to thank everyone and do hope to catch up again. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Dr. I appreciate you for anchoring this program initiative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you for effective coordination.
Thank you. Yeah. Robert, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good. How's New York?
Cold and rainy.
Really?
I feel like I'm back out. I feel like I haven't left Oregon and Seattle.
Yeah, it's different here. Here is actually good. Here in Warsaw is good. I'm having a good time. I went to the War Museum yesterday. I did have a good time looking at, what Hitler did and how he damaged this country.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Warsaw.
Oh, Poland.
Poland, yes.
Yeah. It's the weather here is really bad. It got really cold and chilly. I felt like I was back in Oregon in Washington a couple of weeks ago. It's just that cold and rainy.
Yeah, I don't know why you told me you were going to travel. Yeah, sure. I don't know why you told me you were going to travel.
Oh, but it's okay. This was I thank you for inviting me. It was a very interesting discussion.
Absolutely.
I have a number of questions, as I always do, but I guess at some other point we'll be able to answer them.
Yes. Now, I'm sure we'll continue the conversation. I'm really pleased. And again, also, initially we had some little technical problems. I think there was a little change in the code and all that. Some people I was sending here, and that's why we didn't quite start exactly at 6. I think we started maybe probably like a few minutes after 6, but it turned out to be good.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll try to produce a report and share as usual.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll be talking in a couple of weeks about some of the other stuff we have to get on.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
The conference. Yeah, sure. As soon as I get back, I'll be coming back. I'm coming back this week. Yeah.
What are you on a conference over there?
Yes. I have there's this university here that invited me. We're discussing issues about academic freedom and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I hear that. It's an interesting place, Poland, right now on the nexus of Russia and the United States.
It's a very stable place, and somehow, of course, their economy is doing well. They're the largest economy in the EU region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting because it's a leverage point for the West vis-a-vis the Soviet Union, what Germany used to be, now it's become Poland, right?
Yeah, but the thing is,